So you've installed Elite Dangerous, a game that came out nearly 10 years ago that still has resoundingly positive reviews, and you think, cool, this looks like it's got the full package. Ship customization, space combat, FPS capability, open world exploration in the vast expanse of space, missions, aliens, multiplayer. This sounds like everything that Starfield should have been. So what's the catch? Well, we've talked previously about complex games like Stellaris and of course Football Manager, but little did we know we'd ever come across something so perplexing as Elite Dangerous. Now, in a nutshell, we'd describe this game as Sea of Thieves meets Microsoft Flight Simulator meets Stellaris. There are political, combat, survival and character progression mechanics galore, but it's the particularly unintuitive tutorial that is unfathomably difficult to get past. So if you've made it past that initial tutorial and you still want to play this game, bully for you. In this video then we are welcoming FryWalker of FCG Lethal Company video fame to talk us through our first few hours of gameplay, getting into the very basic mechanics so that you can get into this mind-blowingly convoluted but immensely enjoyable space sim. We've timestamped a few key topics of discussion if you're after help on anything in particular, and we've sped up a good deal of what was about a 3-hour induction into Elite Dangerous. So if you like this video and you want to see more from us playing this game, drop us a like and let us know in the comments what you'd like to see next. Off we go.
So yeah, landing on planets is a lot harder than everything else, so I don't tend to do it too often unless necessary.
Landing on planets is hard.
Well, you get your ships are outkitted with flight assisting modules, and most of them have automated docking for starports and orbital bodies, but planets, a very manual process to get down to the ground. If it's got CMDR in their name, that's another player. I think this is a common spawn point for new players. So when you're in a starport, it's all, you can't use guns, etc.
Jedediah.
As I say, it's a completely open universe. You can't teleport anywhere. You're going to go anywhere, you've got to walk to your ship, get in your ship, launch, and go where you want to go, land, get out your ship, etc. There's no real shortcuts there. Yeah, I'm going up the elevator. So the elevator that you came up, down, or whichever direction it goes in, I think it's pretty up. I'll be coming out of those shortly.
Okay.
With any luck.
See if you can find me.
Okay.
Aha.
You're playing sneaky and you're sitting down, aren't you? I know it. It's one of these guys. So many people sitting down. It's not that guy who's asleep. He's on an iPad. You! Who are you? It's not you, is it? What about over here? This looks exactly like you.
Hello there.
Hello. Welcome to Elite.
And Dangerous. Saber Squadron.
Dangerous. Dangerous for your hardware when you get frustrated with it. Okay. So yeah, this is the concourse. You can mill about. There's lots of services here. But in actual fact, you don't actually have to come out of your ship to access most of this. You can sit in your ship and it's all accessible via a menu. So it kind of cuts this walking around malarkey down to minimal.
Okay. Cool.
Except the exception is, I think this one here, yeah. So this guy is a shuttle controller, which means you can get like a taxi anywhere in the universe if you want to, obviously at a price, and they'll shuttle you there. But as I say, much like you came out of the tutorial, it will actually be a shuttle that you fly in real time to get to your destination. So yeah, it's pretty silly. Any of these terminals here, you can see like monitor screens, you can use those and they'll give you the same experience as you get from your ship.
Yeah.
So it will just be like a menu of starport services. The important one here is mission board, really. Contacts you can get anywhere in this facility, but if you want to do the administrative contact, you can do it directly here. Now, contacts are basically people who work at the terminal, and they'll do various things for you, like if you have killed a wanted player, and then you may have a bounty which you want to cash in. If you've done anything illegal, you may want to have a little chat with them and pay any fines, or try and negotiate your penalties, as it were.
Well, that sounds like a fun challenge in itself. I think trying to go the Han Solo way and do it as illegal as possible for as long as possible.
There's benefits both ways. If you stay legal, then everyone's going to be very friendly with you, and you're going to have access to all of the legal stuff in the starport. If you go illegal, then you've got the potential to earn lots more doing smuggling, etc. And then eventually access to the black market, which is quite handy as well. But just bear in mind that there are, I think there's 4 main powers, or should I say 4 main empires, if you like. One of them is the Empire, so I can't really call them an empire, but there's the Empire. I think they're not called factions because they're smaller. Factions is a smaller thing, but it's overall kind of belief systems, if you like. So there's the Empire, there is the Federation, there are the Independents, which is kind of like everyone else, and there's one other one, actually I can't remember the name of.
The Alliance, I think they called them.
Yeah, it could be Alliance, yeah. So those belief systems have got their own what they will let you do. And also, if you do bad in one, or get a bad reputation in one, it doesn't really affect your reputation in the other control systems.
Okay.
So you can do with that what you will. Then you have factions, which are like sub controllers or senators within those systems, and you can get faction allegiance as well. There's different tiers to that. The mission board, if you go into the mission board, this is kind of the matter of what you'll be doing day-to-day sort of thing. So it splits out into certain categories. There's combat, there's transportation, procurement, operations, salvage, and support. There is another type as well, but I won't talk about that now because it's kind of more for the end game. But they're kind of self-explanatory. Combat is going out and killing something. Transportation is transferring commodities between systems. Procurement is usually an operation where you're going to steal something from somebody else, not necessarily killing them, but kind of a stealthy mission. Operations is more sabotage-led stuff. So again, pretty stealthy, really. And then salvage is just go off to like a derelict area or system and grab stuff and recover stuff.
Okay.
Support, you probably can't see support here, but once you start getting friendly with factions, you can offer your support to them and pay them money directly, or do missions for them directly to increase your reputation with them, and they'll unlock better missions, basically. So all the reputation really is doing is unlocking higher level or better paid missions. If you just click on one of the mission types, so combat or transportation, it'll give you a list of the ones that are on offer, and if you highlight any of them, you'll see on the right hand side the faction, reputation, and the influence. So the faction reputation is you kind of, it'll go up and down, and the further it goes up, the friendlier they are and the more missions they'll offer you. Influence, I think, is just the general influence of that faction within the system. I don't think it's directly related to you, but as you help the faction, that influence thing may change. So it may go up because they're getting more powerful as a faction themselves. The list of missions, then, it's got basically the first line is effectively the summary of the mission, and then the second line is the reward. So first number is the credits, so CR is credits, that's the number of credits you'll receive, and then the bar means or, so you can choose credits or, and then the second option is either a star or a hexagon. Hexagon means a material, which is, we can get into that at a later date. The star is reputation, and then the exploding 8-pointed star thing, that's actually influence, I believe. Yeah, it's influence. So that's probably the least likely thing that you want to choose. But if you're really trying to make a faction very influential within a system, you might want to help them by boosting that, using that as a reward. Second column, if you like, ignoring the icon in the first column, the right-hand column of the missions is where the mission will take place, and it'll tell you the system name and how far away it is,
Oh, Christ.
either in light seconds or light years. So, yeah, light years is another system jump away. Light seconds is likely to be within the vicinity of the system you're in.
Have you worked out how long 1,000 light seconds is?
Well, it depends. When we get to the ship, your ship can do lots of funky things. It can certainly go faster than the speed of light, quite considerably faster than the speed of light. So, once you're in what they call super cruise mode, so yeah. If it says light seconds, you're going to be flying somewhere in your ship. Probably the next best thing to do is look at the map whilst we're on foot. So if you come off the terminal and then you hold down the Q button, it gives you a radial on the bottom left.
Oh god, yeah.
And then you press A on the keyboard to go left, the navigation, and then press space, select it, and then you're into the navigation panel. So this navigation panel is the same one you'll see in the left-hand panel in your ship, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same, but it's very similar. So it's basically got hotkeys for the galaxy map and the system map bottom left, and then all of the current locations that are in your vicinity in the main panel.
Yeah.
So we want to just go to the, first we'll start with the galaxy map. So this is a map for the entire galaxy. So you want there's a lot to it. So we are at HIP 97950. That's where Chamberlain's Rest is. And this is just the system map. So there's detail within that system, but we'll go to that next. If you use your mouse wheel to scroll out, you'll see the vastness of space. And I mean the vastness of space. It is absolutely huge. From last time I read
on
Reddit, I think only 0.05 or 0.5% of the entire universe has been discovered by the players in this game. So it's just utterly immense. So yeah.
And
first thing you want to do,
just to be clear, you can get in your ship and you can go somewhere in any direction.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Jesus.
And each of those dots is a star system. And you go to any one of those little dots. If you zoom out too far, the dots disappear, but yeah, it's crazy. The first thing you really, really want to do, though, is on this HIP 97950, is to get your bearings, you want to bookmark this. So click on the thing, it should already be highlighted, but if you click on it, it'll bring up a side panel, and it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10th one down is add to bookmarks. So the 10th icon on the right hand side down, or 5th one up if you're going from the bottom, is add to bookmarks. So you want to just click on add to bookmarks and give it a name, like anything you like. Just call it something like start, or whatever you want to call it, something that will remember that that's where you started. Because believe me, it's very useful to know where something is. Gives you a reference point, because you'll get lost so easily. It might also have, I don't know if it does this, I can't remember if it does this, it might also have a yellow icon above the system, because that's where your ship is. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe it doesn't when you've only got one ship. But anyway, so that's the star map. And if you wanted to go somewhere else, we won't do this now, but you just click on another star and then hold down your mouse button to plot it, which you can do just to test it out now. Just click any dot within the vicinity, hold down the mouse, and it'll got an orange line to it. The next thing you want to do is look at the system map. So the bottom left is the back or the exit button. Exit that view to go back to the navigation panel.
Yeah. And
then choose the next one down, which is the system map. Now this map is what's in your current system. Again, you can use WASD to move around and mouse wheel to scroll in and out. It may take a little while to load simulation. Basically, that's loading in all of the other players that are in the vicinity, and because this is a start point, that can take a little bit of time because there's usually quite a few other players here. So on this system, we've got 3 suns. The big sun top left,
Yeah.
and then 2 other minor suns a bit further away, and then that first big sun, if you zoom into that, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets with 1 5-planet system. Maybe that's a moon of a planet, possibly. And then it's got bigger planets kind of in the next zone. It's not directly connected to the star, so those bigger planets are quite a long way away. We're actually at one of these. If you look for the kind of light blue or the teal pinpoint thing, that's where we are. So we're on 97950 ABC2K. We're actually between the 2 suns here. It took me ages because whenever you come into the system, you'll jump to a nav beacon right next to the primary star. The distance between that primary star and this planet is quite a way. It takes a while to actually cruise down to this particular planet. Now, we're on a planet, and most of the time, for the start at least, you probably want to be concentrating on starports. If you look at the first line of planets from the primary star, there are 2 starports. Ignore the triangular icons because the triangular ship icons are actually fleet carriers, which are owned by players. So I would just say ignore those altogether for now, because most of the time they're private and you can't even get onto them. But the ones that you're interested in are the ones that look like, what does that look like? Kind of like a jackhammer on its side, or
okay. I was zooming in on it. I was about to say a syringe with like a satellite maybe coming out the side of it.
Weird. But yeah, those are starports. So you can click on one of those. It'll tell you what it offers. There's lots of services it offers, and obviously that starport is orbiting the planet that it's kind of linked to by a line. Planets with a blue sort of
semicircle
half
around them.
A circle around them. Yeah, they are habitable, i.e. you can land on them.
Okay.
Most of the time you don't want to be bothered with doing that early game, so just ignore that. But having said that, the one that we're on, if you click on the planet, and then on the right hand side, if you click on the double sphere view planetary map icon, which is the 7th or 8th one down, 8th one down, that will show you the actual planet, and you can use your mouse to hold it and rotate it around, and then you can rotate it around and see that the actual surface place that we're at, called Chamberlain's Rest.
Okay.
It might also be worth bookmarking that, because if you leave anything here, it's quite a pain to remember which planet it's on. So you can click on Chamberlain's Rest, and again use add to bookmarks and just bookmark that as well as the location, because it took me, when I first started, I bookmarked the system and then I couldn't find Chamberlain's Rest. I forgot it was on a planet. These lifts here, I think these are the transport lifts. So when you book a taxi, you go through there to get to the taxi.
Okay. Now my first question is how do you get on your friend's ship? Because I think that's probably something that everyone wants to know. Do you know that?
Yeah, it's quite straightforward. Yeah.
And is that? Would you recommend doing that now, or should we come back to
that? Let's see what ship you've got. I can't remember if it allows us to do dual piloting. I think it probably does. This one looks like we can't do either. Okay, let's just go downstairs then. I'll just give you a very quick brief. I don't know if you've run around here already. I'll just give you a quick brief of what everything else is here. You'll see people standing around, which will try and give you missions. Just ignore them, because a lot of the time for you, for a start player, they'll be far too difficult. Bar here is actually where you do material trading, which you don't need to really do yet. If it's got one of these decks with a massive hollow thingy here, this suggests it's got a shipyard where you can buy new ships. But you probably won't have enough money to do that. You could have a quick look at them if you like. There's loads of ships.
I can't seem to. Load new ship, yes.
Sorry, can I get past?
Can I get past? Can you just let me do this, please? It doesn't seem to be working for me.
All right. Well, you can. It's probably not important, but you can also go up to this guy and ask him to do stuff for you. So I think all that does is actually change the. Yeah, it's just changing the hologram that you're seeing here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So. Okay. And this is where you buy guns and stuff. But that's probably not too important. That's basically it. Yeah.
Cool. Looks like Mando's Helldiver suit. Cannot interact. Visit Inter Astra to start pilot tutorial. Oh, no.
Okay. Sorry. Got the pilot tutorial. Okay, fair dues. Right, yeah, you've got to where the shipyard thing we were just at. You've got to do your tutorial there.
Righto.
They don't do anyone fly these ships these days. Yeah, and by where that hologram was, it's this guy, I guess.
I'll be over here if you need any help. What are you in the market for?
I'd like a refresher on my flight training. I've totally got a license. I just would like a quick refresher, please.
The queue into Levy.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, obviously, use your controller for flying, and I think you have to invert your. If you're used to inverted axis, you need to do that as well.
Not sure
no,
if I'll
do you?
invert.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe it was inverted to start with, actually. Because it's normally follows the same as the half-first joystick. If you've got to hit the right stick. So if you click the right stick, you're in free look mode, and then you click it again, and it goes back to locked mode.
I see. LS to pitch. A to yaw, LS to roll.
Now, I changed my vertical axis on the right stick to be rolling. It defaults to yawing. Yeah, so if you go to options and controls, ship controls,
Yeah.
then it's right rotation, and you need to change the roll axis to be the right stick, the horizontal right stick. So click on the first or second, probably the first actually, yeah, the first cell of the roll axis, and then either go left or right on your right stick. You should read it. Yeah, is it asking you to jump between systems now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 3 modes of travel. First one is just normal thrusters, which is kind of like meters per second speed. Then there's cruising with your frameshift drive, which is fractions of speed of light speed. And then there's actual hyperspace jumps, which is moving between systems, which is that weird special effect when you're spinning through space.
I'm on foot again now.
Okay, cool. So now you should be able to go back to those elevators.
Yeah.
And that should take you to your ship. Now, the starter ship is only a 1-seater affair. I do have a slightly upgraded 2-seater one we could use to try together. I've not tried it, but apparently I've just been googling it, and you can do swap the driver, etc., with multi-crew, so it might be worth a go.
Cool. How do we do that then?
Right, so you've got to go to social, and you probably need to add me as a friend first. Let me search for you. Did you just put your normal?
I just got in my chair first. Yes, I'm Spudrifle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll add you as a friend. You should see. So if you go to, you've got to press escape to go to the social menu.
Okay.
If you go to social and friends, it should have a friend request from me.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So accept that, and then so with friends, I think I can just click on you. Right, I've sent you an invite to the group. I think you should have had that now.
Oh. Aha.
Is it?
Well, I found the invite menu, which is important.
Invite to crew. There you go. I sent you an invite to crew. Oh, what are we gonna? We have to choose what we're doing. Don't know what this means. Choose your planned activity. Mentor a player. Yeah, there we go. There's one of those. So, you've been invited to more crew.
You got mail. It's not spam.
Yeah, I've done that as well. Can you still hear me?
I can. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Now, I can't see you though, so I don't know where you are.
I'm still loading in. I'm still loading in.
Oh, you're still loading in? Fine. It might take a little while to load in. Your audio is a bit strange though.
Yeah.
Let me just... It sounds like you're on a proper comms thing.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
Right.
If you break the law, you'll be forced to leave the ship.
Do what?
I've got to pick a multi-crew role. Oh, that's it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
Hello. You're not looking.
If you do free look and look to your left, I'm sitting in this seat.
Yeah.
You can see me. I can see me. Cool. Right. So, I don't know if you've got the controls or I've got the controls, I don't really know. But it's probably the same thing. So, looking to your left is still the navigation, looking to your right should still be the ship's stuff. And then, if you come out of free look, I guess you still get the menu choices? I don't know. I'm not sure. Now, what did you choose a role when you entered the crew?
It just said multi-crew role, that was the only thing.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. It's probably good enough. So I could probably assign you specific things. So let's just go through some of these panels then. So if you press, the best one to start with is 4. So if you press number 4, that'll be a panel on your right. You use either, if you're using a controller, then you can use the bumpers. Otherwise it's Q and E to go through the tabs. And so the first tab that's important is modules. Now this is everything that's on the ship, that's been installed on the ship, and their current power consumption and health. There's a whole load of stuff here. You don't really need to know much about that yet, but that's just where you would see if something gets damaged or needs repair, etc., etc. Next tab along is called fire groups. This is where you assign your primary and secondary triggers to all of the different things that quote unquote fire in your ship. So you will have guns. So I've got pulse lasers on this thing, but I've also got utility things as well, like the chaff and countermeasure, and the data link scanner is a particular scanner you need to use with a trigger.
Yeah.
And then in the middle there's this thing called a limpet, which is a little drone that shoots out of your ship, and that's a collector limpet, so that will go off and pick up things in space and bring them back to your cargo hold.
Cool.
So yeah, so the third tab is the ship. That's just general ship toggle things. So you can turn lights on, you can turn night vision on. What else can you do here? You can change fire modes, etc. Yeah, it's probably again not that important at the moment. That's where you turn things off on the ship. Now the fourth one is the inventory. That's pretty important because as you trade things and collect stuff, that's where it's all going to appear here. So mine's pretty empty at the moment. The first, if you like, on that list of things is the ship cargo. So that's where most of the commodities will be stored. So I haven't got anything here at the moment. The next one down is a refinery. If you pick up like ores, you can refine them. That's an optional one actually. And then you've got some other things which is just like individual materials which aren't too important yet. Storage, I just completely ignore that for now because I don't even know what that does yet. And then status, the final tab is the your status with all of those factions that are nearby. So this is just helpful to work out if anyone doesn't like you. I think I'm in good stead with most of them, so we should be fine. So that's the ship panel. Now, on your left, if you press number 1, that's the navigation panel.
Yeah.
So this is saying waypoints. You should be fairly familiar with this if you've done a tutorial. The first tab is all the navigations in the current system, and as we looked at before, bottom left of that is also access to the galaxy map and the system map, and you can set filters on this mode to see different things, but I don't need to go into that detail here. Second one is the transactions tab, and that tells you the current missions you've got, also passengers, claims, fines, bounties, all that sort of stuff. So it's good for tracking what you're currently doing. And then the third tab is nearby contacts. So it's either other ships or other players or other points of interest. So on this contacts list, I can see Chamberlain's Rest, which is the outpost that we're at. Diamondback Explorer, that's another ship. Pad is a ship, Hall is a ship, Eagle's a ship. System Authority Vessel is a ship. Sidewinder is a ship. And then FSD Wakes. So that's the frame shift drive wakes of a ship that was there recently. So it's kind of like there. If you go off to that and look at those wake, that trail of energy, you can sometimes determine where they were going if you're tracking somebody. So in the Discord, I've given you a screenshot of the HUD and with all of the detail of the HUD, so you can maybe review that offline and get your heads around it. But I think the key points are that bottom middle will be the radar once we've taken off. I think this is what you see, so bear with me if it's not exactly what you see, but to the right of the radar is your ship status, so the shields around the hologram of it, and then the hull values below it. And then on the left-hand side is the actual target. We haven't got anything targeted at the moment, so it's just showing the planet.
Yep.
To the right of the current ship status is the power distribution, so sys, eng, and wet. That's the systems, engine, and weapons. And they're called power pits. If you look at what I've currently got set up there, I've got 4 pits on engines, or actually 4.5, you can't quite see it there. And I've got 1.5, I think, on systems, and then 1 or half maybe on weapons. I don't know if I can change it while I'm in this mode. No, I can't. But once you're in the air, you can distribute the power as you see fit. The more you put into systems, the more energy will go into shield regeneration and also the maintenance of your modules. The more you go into engines, the faster you'll go. And obviously the more you put into weapons, the more rapidly they will fire before being utilized.
And that's that is set in modules, is it?
That will be set in flight. Yeah, that's set in flight. You can't do it anywhere else apart from when you're flying. And you use your D-pad to set those. So if you go up on your D-pad, it boosts the engines. If you go right, it boosts weapons. If you go left, it boosts systems. And if you go down, it's that RST reset, which puts them both all to equal again. To the right of that is the fuel status and the ship toggles, if you like. So the fuel is telling us how much current fuel we're using per hour, real time. So we're not using any fuel at the moment, so that's fine. Then you've got a thin line of fuel, which is your thruster fuel, and then you've got a thick line of fuel, which is your jump fuel.
So
you'll see that change as we jump between systems.
I don't think I can see that, so I can't see.
Maybe can't.
I can't see fuel on. I can't see anything right of the sys, eng, and wep.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So I think when you're actually piloting, you'll see that, but you can't see that yet. That's fine. About on the HUD. The other thing I'll say, the comms panel, which is number 2. The very first tab of the comms panel, the chat main.
Yeah.
I've just put E in there. It always comes up with typing in. Yeah, you might accidentally type something in there. It'll go to everyone local. That's fine. But you'll also see chat from NPCs in here. So if you're being tracked by a pirate, for instance, they will probably threaten you in this panel. But there's other NPC chat you'll see in there as well, which I won't spoil. But it's interesting. It'll just pop up and it'll be shown in the top left. So yeah, it's a good little hint as to what might be happening around you. Pilot yet, but we'll go out and we'll see if we can do it in space. What's the worst that can happen? So yeah, you'll get the choice when you're the pilot. You'll get the choice of auto launch if you've got an assisted module for docking. If you don't, then you'll have to manually launch, which is a bit trickier. It's not impossible. It just means you've got to fly out with it, but try not to hit anything. Because if you hit something on the way out, the authorities get a bit upset.
So okay, so I think the way to do it is to look at the menu by your crotch, and you might have something different to me, but I can see that a fighter role is unavailable, a gunner role I can enter, and otherwise I'm just crew. But there's no option for me to be a pilot there. But I guess if you moved to one of the others from the menu on your crotch, maybe then that would become available to me.
Yeah, okay.
But by all means, please take us out, because I don't want to crash.
Yeah. I'll stay as pilot for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I can probably do that once we get going. I can see that thing in the menu now. Okay, so I'm going to auto launch us out. We'll just fly around for a little bit and get our bearings. I'll give you some stuff, info about the flight stuff. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what you can see when we're out there. We'll swap seats. I'll give you flight control. Ah yes, I forgot. We're on a planet, so this is quite tricky. So when you're coming off a dock, it's very easy. You just do auto dock and then that's it, you're done. But this one, you actually get pushed up vertically into the air, and then you've got to actually do your own launch. So I'll just let this auto launch to a safe height. You can see, I think you can see this. There's an altimeter on the right hand side, and then an angle. I don't know if you can see that or not actually. I'm just increasing the angle now to 45 degrees.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, you can see that. So I've increased that to 45 degrees. So that's usually the typical launch angle to start with. And then you can still see we're still going up in altitude. So we're about 1 kilometre up from the ground now. So I'll just engage more thrust. So this is normal thrusters for now. If you can see the thrust power, putting it in the blue is usually the safe bet to start with. And I'll just increase it now to 60 degrees as we get off the ground. And what you have to do to get out of a planet is get out of its orbit, and you need the frame shift drive to do that. So you just throttle up to a fairly decent speed. Make sure you're not mass locked, which again you probably can't see that yet. I usually do a boost and then engage the FFC.
Speed restrictions lifted. Flight control signing off.
Alright, so we're going to go into frame shift mode now, which is the...
Your voice has gone even worse. I guess that's because of the mode we were just in.
Oh right, the voice was getting funny, was it? Okay, fine. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So, we're now in frame shift drive hypercruise mode. This should be giving us the speed now to get out of orbit. So I'm just throttling up as much as we can, going for about an 80 degree angle. And eventually we'll come out of the orbit of this planet. Whilst it's got this angle and altimeter, you know you're in the orbit of a planet. Also, you can see that, I don't know if you see the radar, but the radar is red at the moment because we're very close to a planet or a star. The red planet at the back of us is where we're close to, and now it's gone away from red, means now, yeah, we're just about to leave orbit. Alright. Yeah, I think it's about 2.5k. Yeah. Okay, we're in space. So I'm going to leave it in frame shift mode. So our speed is now going up and up and up and up. You can see we're doing kilometres of meters per second now, so we're getting pretty quick. Okay. I'll just take her up. So there's lots of things around here. Okay, I'm going to go onto the map and see if there's a dot to go to. Yeah, so go for the Amos for Hoffman installation. So I've just set the waypoint, which you'll see bottom left if you've got the waypoint on your screen. That's where we're heading, and to the left of the radar there's a small circle which is the waypoint orientation radar, if you like. You've got to get that blue dot in the middle of that one to point at your next waypoint. So I'm now pointing at Hoffman installation, and I'm still flying manually, super cruising manually, but what I can do now is actually enter Super Cruise Assist as well to lock it onto autopilot.
Yeah.
which I think maybe you could try and do that as well. But you'll see actually that this target is 1,600 light seconds away, so it's quite a way away. But we're being interdicted. Interesting. All right, cool. So this is a pirate trying to take us out of type of FSD. So what I've got to do here, I don't know if you see it, I'm going to try and aim for that escape vector.
Yeah.
To keep us in FSD. So it's like a little mini game. Doesn't seem to be. It's fairly tricky. It's kind of a medium one here, so I can't even remember how good the ship is. So I don't know. I think we just want to try and stay away from this pirate if possible. Yeah, we evaded it. So in that situation, I'm going to just try and get us back on track to where we were actually heading. What the hell is it? Oh, it's that thing there. Let's slow us down a bit. So in that situation, you get a blue bar on your left and a red bar on your right. You've got to aim for that blue target that moves around the screen. And if you stay near that target, the blue bar goes up. But if you deviate away from it, the red bar goes up. And if the red bar fills before you can fill your blue bar, the pirate has successfully interdicted you, knocks you out of Super Cruise, and then you're basically in combat with that pirate. So
okay.
we evaded it, fortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's interested in us, because there's nothing in our hold. So typically they only go for you if there's something in your hold. So it could have been another player, but I doubt it. All right. Now they're trying again.
Yeah. I've just checked. I was just staying on the chat.
Yeah.
It's Andreas Sunby.
Yeah. Is he chatting to us, is he?
Yeah, I was just trying to stay on the chat because of what you mentioned about the pirates contacting you there.
Yeah.
He said you're mine now.
Oh, yeah, that's an NPC pirate, I think. Alright, okay. We've evaded it again. Okay. It's quite funny. Right, I've got to get my bearings. What the heck is this station? You'll see like the rings of the planets. They're basically the orbital paths of all of the...
I'm seeing conflict zones around us. Is that a problem?
Yeah, the conflict zones will have more baddies in it, but I think we'll be alright. See why there's so many interdictors around here.
The info tab, which is the one that's kind of right of the messaging tab, that one seems to be just filled with one new contact or contacts lost. Is that just people in your periphery?
Yeah, contact means basically other ships. So that's people coming in and out of your vicinity, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute, cruise. Alright. There we go. So once you're within 7.5 kilometres of a station, you can request docking.
Yeah.
So if you want to try doing that.
I can't do... can I do that?
Yeah, go to the contact tab, find Hoffman installation, select it, go right, and then click select.
Okay, I can't. It doesn't do anything when I select.
Right. I think it's probably the pilot then. Let me do it. Get the music. I want to give you the controls just to see what it's like in the other seat, if you get what I mean. But once you dock, normally you've got all the options to do starport services from here as well, so you don't need to worry about any of that malarkey.
And how do you do that? Is that in transactions?
No, I think you need to be the pilot to do that. Let me see if I can.
So it's getting a bit long and we're going to call it there, but next time we'll be talking more about missions, more about multiplayer. We'll actually try and switch seats and we'll go through a couple of the mechanics of the on-ship controls as well. So do drop us a like if you liked this video or if it was useful. Let us know down in the comments what you'd like to learn more about from Elite Dangerous, and I'm sure that the FryWalker and myself will oblige. But until next time, my friends, catch you soon.